supposed to be short.
Good morning,
Hi, Sandra.
everybody.
Hi.
This is Jessica.
Just go for a minute there. Yeah, not let your loose ends go hanging. Okay, what? Like you lost 10 years. Well, you mean older? Yes. No. Everybody's giving me well, yeah, you can shave my face. I'll look like 100 years old. Back, so.
I thought you were Santa Claus for a second.
I thought about doing that. I thought about doing that. Retire. I'd be like, oh my god. Well, I'll start crying there.
You gotta keep a small bag of candy bars.
Candy bars. Got to keep a bag of like medication or something, hallucinogen or something. You know a guy that's a professional singer, and he says some of the stories he tells. It's like he deals with it because he's trained, and it's come up and they go, I want my little brother back. You know the concept of sharing? Stuff like that. You just need to explain it. That's what kids can understand. You're not getting paid someday to see it. So, money is good in some places. They'll pay $20,000 a season. I don't have any weight. I don't even have to fake it. I'm fat. I don't know. It sounded like somebody's. Oh yeah, dude, that's you mentioned that, and that just hit me, bam, just like that. This Sam guy, he's the only thing he doesn't have is the twinkly blue iris eyes. Everything else he's got a beard, he's height. Oh, I never showed you this. I get $1 million. It's not right. I gotta show this to you. Going to be give me a second. Back at Christmas last year. I was down to
No time?
and I ran into this guy. And I called him an imposter. Oh, we have some issues.
No fit in
to Juan and shit, you know? Everyone used to dish him on. How come that food's not wearing, proper attire?
I did. See the scar?
I'm going in Thursday.
For discs?
Yeah, they're gonna fuse.
I didn't get a fuse. I got just. So what they did was they cut slots.
Mr. Davis.
And then they jammed it.
Mr. Davis, you plan to make an example out of Wayne Spindler? Wayne Spindler, can you state that on the record? You said you wanted to make an example. What happened to Curran Price?
Am I right? I had a picture of me and this kids in the hospital. Like, we're not hospital, Boston. I'm just a postcard of that.
Audio test testing 1, 2, 3. Audio test testing 1, 2, 3. Good morning, everyone. Fernando Campos, Executive Officer with the Board of Public Works. For today, Friday, August 18, 2023, we should get started in the next minute or two. For those members that are joining us through the Zoom application, Bureau Representative, should the board have any questions, we will open up those audio lines for you. Again, this is for Julia Sanchez de la Vega, Dong Lu, Ansar Mustafa, Michael Mullen. Thank you again for joining us this morning. Just to confirm you can hear us online, Julia Sanchez de la Vega, I'm just going to select you. If you can just confirm that you can hear us on the Zoom application.
Confirmed.
Great, thank you, and good morning to you again. For members of the general public that would like to provide general public comment or commentary on any of the For members of the general public that would like to provide general public comment or commentary for today's agenda, if you can please raise your hand at this time by pressing *9, or if you're joining us through the Zoom application, you can click the raise hand icon located at the lower right-hand side of your screen. If you're joining us here live at City Hall in our chambers, there are speaker cards located at the back end of the room. You can go ahead and complete that, submit that to myself, and we will add you to the list for general public comment or commentary. Last call for members of the general public that would like to provide general public comment on any of the items for today's agenda. If you can please raise your hand at this time by pressing *9, click the raise hand icon, or submit your speaker card.
Yeah, we're
Seeing
having.
no other hands raised, President Garcia, we do have 3 commissioners in the room. We did receive speaker cards, and they are now submitted to you as well. I can go ahead and start the recording.
Please do. Thank you.
President Garcia, you're now in record mode.
Great. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the regular scheduled meeting for the Board of Works for Friday, August 18, 2023. Dr. Campos?
Good morning, everyone. Again, Fernando Campos, Executive Officer, establishing roll call. We have President Garcia, Vice President.
You want to switch
Sorry
mics?
about that.
Yeah,
Let me see if I can switch mics here.
we were having that issue on Wednesday as well.
Establishing roll call and quorum, we have President Garcia, President Pro Tem Davis, and Commissioner Corzan. President Garcia, you do have a quorum at this time. President Garcia, we did receive speaker cards under general public comment. We also have speaker cards on all the items for today's agenda, and no hands raised on the Zoom application at this time.
Okay, very well. Thank you for that, Dr. Campos. We do have public comment. We will take public comment now. Wayne?
Wayne, last call for Wayne. President Garcia, Wayne is not in the room.
Okay. Greenspan?
Greenspan, if you can please approach the podium. Greenspan, last call for Greenspan. President Garcia, that person is not in the room.
Got it. Hillary?
Hillary, if you can please approach the podium. Hillary, last call for Hillary. President Garcia, Hillary is not in the room.
Okay. And last one we have here is A. Somebody that starts with the letter name A.
Yeah, guys. I'm here to talk about a dirty nigger named Karen Price, who's now gonna go to jail because Mr. Davis supported him when they said to Mr. Wayne Spindler, I'm gonna make an example of you for that public comment card. Well, my public comment card, for the record, reads a dirty nigger. A dirty nigger because, like the city of Industry, a councilman by the name of Michael Grugelball is getting free accommodations to live $700 in a nice fucking studio home. Hey, you need to get your security guy back there because I feel uncomfortable, Madam President. I don't need your black ass up my ass making me feel uncomfortable. This is my time, Mr. Campos. Send your fucking Goonie squad security back to where he belongs, because I feel threatened. Motherfuckers don't understand the city of Industry. You don't understand the accusations, allegations made by Davis against Wayne Spindler over a fucking public comment card about that fucking dirty nigger, DWP, and your fucking criminal from DWP, Mr. Peter Thomas Dick Moron, stupid idiot attorney. You got that, Mr. Attorney, for the record? Idiot attorney. 1,600 of you dumbasses have been called by the federal government to remove your motherfucking bar license. And the reason behind that, corruption, embezzlement, fraud, waste, and a dirty motherfucking nigger. For the record, 42C 1983, fuck you.
Public comments now officially closed. Moving on to the item of today's business. First item of today's business, which is the approval of the minutes of Friday, August 4th, 2023. Is there a second to my motion to approve this item?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. Dr. Campos, there's a first by me and a second by Dr. Davis to approve the minutes of Friday, August 4th,
Absolutely. Let's start the voting.
2023. Sorry, I'm in 2013.
August 4th, 2023. We'll start the voting tabulation. We'll start with you, President Garcia,
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis,
Aye.
and Commissioner Corzine.
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Welcome, everybody that's here today, and welcome to everybody that's joining us via virtual platform. It is an exciting, and it's a Friday, and today we have a very special recognition. We have the presentation and retirement certificate for Mr. Burt McReynolds. Please do not interrupt the meeting when I'm speaking. Thank you. This is your first and only warning. Thank you. We are here to celebrate the retirement certificate, the retirement of Mr. Burt McReynolds, Chief Construction Inspector for the Bureau of Contract Administration. It is a pleasure. Where is Burt? Oh, you're way over there, sir. How are you? With that, I want to bring up Mr. John Reamer. Is Mr. John Reamer here? Yes, he is. And everybody else. So with that,
Good morning,
thanks, sir.
Madam President, Commissioners, Department, family. Thank you for affording us this opportunity to recognize a bunch of words that I could use, solid, strong adjectives for Brett McReynolds. He served, as we will share with you, for 31 years. And we're going to have a lot of these moments where we're going to see good, solid, strong, capable family members go to another chapter in their life. Today, however, is one that we spend to reflect upon. There are not enough words to address Brett McReynolds. He penned these words: every bridge has to be built on a solid foundation. And the 6th Street Viaduct is no different. Just like its foundation of 155-foot deep concrete piles, It was built on the strength of hope. The time, dedication, and energy of thousands of individuals, each of whom left behind their imprint, is built into this bridge and will shape the future of Los Angeles. When Brett penned those words, he had no idea that I would be ascribing them to what Brett has done for the Bureau of Contract Administration. I want to give you the word sharp. And I apologize for the mass, so if the words don't come through as cleanly as they should, just raise your hand and I'll say it again. Because that's what Brett has done for me and for Brett is solid in every way. Brett has been a foundation upon which people have been able to realize and reach, if it so was their desire, their destination. Because that's what bridges do. Bridges help us get from point A to point B as we traverse over that obstacle that might be before us, that would prevent us from being able to connect. And Brett is and has been solid for the Bureau of Contract Administration. The notion of hope, hope being helping others perform effectively, it's not just a byword, it really isn't. Being able to help somebody, being able to assist them, yours being the person, if you will, yours providing the time, if you will, to make their life better. Brett does that. Brett helps other people. It was common for Brett to not go out of his way, because it was his way. But it was common for him, be it personally or professionally, to help someone that wanted to further their career, be it a Thanksgiving gathering or a bureau picnic. Brett didn't just show up. And this might be a touchy spot for some people, but Brett didn't just show up. Brett participated. He invested his time. Did he have to? No, he didn't have to. It's not like he was getting paid. But he invested his time because he wanted an environment where others would be able to enjoy themselves, where others would be able to appreciate the purpose for coming together, or in the case of someone wanting to promote, to help them realize what they wanted to accomplish. So not only is Brett solid, but Brett's someone who helps. Commissioner Davis can appreciate the fact that, as he says it so many times, we in the Bureau of Contract Administration, we inspect what we expect. And we do that not just based on how we feel when we wake up in the morning, but we do that based on submittals that have been accepted, based on standards that have been established, based on specifications that were included in a contract document. Ours is to operate in a black and white world. It shouldn't be subjective. It should be very objective with respect to it is or it isn't. You did or you didn't. But the fact of the matter is we operate in many, many, many shades of gray. We operate in a world where it doesn't come as cleanly as one may expect it to. And then the question now becomes, when that happens, what do you do? Brett operates in gray. It's not that he looks for gray, it's not that he loves gray, but gray doesn't intimidate him. It doesn't concern him in the sense that he recognizes that, yes, we want it to be black or white, but in the midst of where we are, we don't just throw our hands up and walk away. We make it work. Because Brett is adaptable. He's not just solid, he's not just someone who helps, but he's able to adapt to circumstances and situations, recognizing and remembering what it is we are trying to accomplish. Civil servants, which is the badge that we wear. Ours is to provide service for not just those who live here, but those who recreate here, those who come here to do business. They visit here. The notion of service delivery. making sure that we, on time and on budget, this board knows all too well how important it is to make sure that we deliver for the constituent. But it's every constituent. It's not just the constituents that have a lot of influence. It's not just the constituents that have a lot of money. It's not just the constituents that have a lot of voting power. It's every single constituent, those that have a phenomenally great home and those who unfortunately are dealing with the realities of homelessness. And Brett treats them all the same. He doesn't see a big I or a little U because Brett is relatable. He appreciates the fact that his is to ensure that we provide service for every single person in the city of Los Angeles, whether they're in San Pedro or Sylmar, whether they're in East LA or West LA or in South Central Los Angeles, everyone receives the same service. And then lastly, Brett's professional. Yes, he provides a solid foundation, one that helps as it provides hope for all those who are a part of it. Adapting to the realities of life because every day can be different, and appreciating the fact that we need to be able to relate to one another. But whether it's above him or below him or alongside him, Brett is there to make sure that it's done right and it's done well. Rudyard Kipling, in his poem If, spoke to walking with kings and not losing the common touch. Brett's able to do that. He's interacting with council offices or mayor staff, neighborhood councils, other city departments. Brett has clearly separated himself from others in demonstrating that he gets it and he understands what is necessary for not just the Bureau of Contract Administration, not just the Department of Public Works, but for the city of Los Angeles as a whole, to demonstrate and to deliver what is so expected. For 31 years, Brett provided service. Fortunately for us, all with the Bureau of Contract Administration. Yes, yeah, he's like the Kobe Bryant. he didn't play for any other team. He started his career on March 22nd, 1992. He spent 5 years as a construction inspector, 3 years as a senior construction inspector, 13 years as a principal construction inspector, and then 10 years as a division manager, a chief construction inspector. This time was spent in the Valley Division, in our Special Construction Division, in our Metropolitan Division, both East and West. Brett has built fire stations, police stations, libraries, animal shelters. He's worked on Playa Vista. What it looks like now was not what it looked like many years ago. He's worked on that. Spent many years working with MTA. And we recognize how important transportation is in the city of Los Angeles right now. And then he, I don't want to say closed out his career, but in the fourth quarter of his career, if you will, he spent some time on this little itty bitty bridge called 6th Street that we all know all too well how important it is and what it does for the city of LA. When he retires, he plans on vacationing with his lovely wife. Proverbs 27:17 says, as iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens the countenance of his friend. Brett McReynolds served 31 years within the city of Los Angeles for this Department of Public Works with the Bureau of Contract Administration. We are sharper as an agency because of Brett McReynolds. I am sharper as a general manager and a person because of Brett McReynolds. Thank you, Brett, for your many years of service and capitals thank you, Danette. So move out the way now, Brett. You got to move out the way.
Come on down, Bert.
Thank you, Danette, for 31 years of not having her husband there all the time she may have wanted him there. Because it wasn't just a job for Brett. It was more than that. He gave his all in what he did. He did not hesitate to answer a page, I'm going back now, aren't I? A call or a text. I mean, he was always there. But when he's always with us, he's not with his lovely wife, and he's not with his children, and he's not with his grandchildren. So as selfish as I can be, I totally appreciate that for right now it's time. It's time. And who are we to get in the way of who is his helpmate in life? I'm imagining his best friend, his partner, not in crime, but in making life better. Because it's not just here. When you hear him talk and hear the two of them talk, they're making everybody's life better. I mean, that's just who they are. And so we've just enjoyed that for 31 years. Now there's so many other people that will be able to enjoy that. So thank you, Brett. Why don't you come on up here? I have the certificate that I'd like to give you and then a pin. As he's coming up, please acknowledge and recognize Brett McReynolds. First of all, a little delayed, but a 30-year pin. Okay. These diamonds are supposed to be real, so I'm trusting that they are.
Thank you so much.
But thank you, Brett, for 30 years. And then the board is here, so I won't say on behalf of the board, but I will read what's here. In recognition of 31 years of employment with the City of Los Angeles, the Board of Public Works honors Brett McReynolds, Chief Construction Inspector, Bureau of Contract Administration. Congratulations on your many years of distinguished service and achievement in public service. Your professionalism and dedication to the Department of Public Works and the citizens of the City of Los Angeles is to be commended, most certainly. With the best wishes for your future health, prosperity, and happiness, it's signed by all of the commissioners, dated August 18, 2023. It is my honor and privilege as the Inspector of Public Works to extend this to you, to once again say thank you for all that you've done. And may I also add, on behalf of the mayor of this city, it might be small words, but they're powerful words, and it's thank you. Thank you for all that you have done. Knowing you, thank you for what you will continue to do, because people will call Brett, and he will answer, and he will help. But Brett, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you,
Great.
John.
Appreciate you, Brett.
Thank you so much.
I got through that. I just...
Well, that's good. You're a professional, Mr. Reamer. You're a professional. Thank you very much. And Madam President, honorable commissioners, colleagues, look at the history, right? So it's my pleasure to be here. Another part, somebody once told me, one of the old commissioners said, imagine all the dead skin cells in here. And I'm like, I don't want to imagine that. But the point is all the history, the live history we have in this room, fantastic. To be able to experience that, and it's my pleasure to be up here. I want to thank you for this opportunity. My career has been absolutely fantastic with the city. I think the biggest part, this is great. I'm not taking anything from the award certificate. It's wonderful. But my favorite certificate was a letter I received in, I think, 1992 from a constituent. And the board in those days took letters like that and basically threw them in a pile, and they were very organized, old school. It was the old school days when they answered the complaint letters and not so much the attaboy letters, right? So we had Terry Schmidt was working for us at the time, and she had a friend at the board office. So she said, they got this great board, and our director at that time, Bernard Gilpin, gave me the letter and said, thank you very much. But the letter was from a constituent, and it just talked about what the crew that we had done in their backyard. And it was during those El Nino years of 92, 93. And our crew, on a hunch, we had gone back and we assumed that, that his yard would suffer some damage. And so without much permission from him, we just put our crew back there and we started working. And the point is that it's wonderful to get the accolades and everything, but what makes the most, to me, what touches my heart is when we have a constituent or a client or a member of the community that says to me a heartfelt thanks. And those are the ones that really mean a lot to me. And I'm fortunate that I have a career filled with those. And it's not just me, it's the wonderful people I work with, all of these inspectors and folks that are here. I found a home because we share a desired goal to be helpful for the community, right? To be servants to the community. And one of the first inspectors I worked with used to introduce himself as your public works inspector. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm your public works inspector. And that rubbed off on me, and I found a home. I knew I'd found a home because we're like-minded in that regard. We're a service-driven organization. That is our stock and trade. And so I'm very proud of that, and so thank you for that opportunity to be part of that, because I grew as a person. And I got to see a lot of wonderful parts of the city while doing that. There isn't a part of the city that I didn't work in or touch. And thank you to Mr. Reamer. Where did he go? There he is. He's trying to steer clear. When I started working here, I was sent to the Venice Canals to meet with this guy named John Reamer. And at the time, there was a duck crisis. Remember the duck crisis? There was a bunch of ducks that I think they had eaten Roundup or something, and so I don't remember what it was, but John was handling the crisis control of it. And I assumed he was like a principal inspector, right? I thought he was way bigger, a higher level than he was. And so he and I hit it off right away. And I went home and I told my wife, I said, I met this great guy, John Reamer. And it's really cool because, you know, I'm glad to meet him because it's like I know I found a home. It's going to be a wonderful place to be. And so thank you, John, for your leadership and thank you for everything. Absolutely. And with that, I can only just say thank you. I want to acknowledge my beautiful wife because all of this time, she was completely, fully supportive. And she was like I don't want to say bureau wife, but you certainly did a lot to help with the various picnics and everything we did. Like John mentioned, the Thanksgivings and stuff. And she understood and she shares those values that we have of service and leadership. And so it's been my privilege to be with my sweetheart for a lot more years than 31. So thank you very much.
Bert, hang on, Bert. I'll give you. Bert, hang on. I know you're ready for retirement, but you give us 5 more minutes. I know you're eager to take them. But Bert, we can't leave without giving you, the send-off. So before we do that, I'm going to pass it over to Mr. Corson, and then I'm going to do mine, and then I'm going to end it. I'm going to have Dr. Davis end it because how can we ever compete with John Reamer, right? John Reamer just kind of gave us like a whole beautiful sermon this morning on the great things that it is service and leadership for you. But I'm going to pass this over right now to Mr. Commissioner Corson to give you some few words.
Thank you. Congratulations, and thank you to you for your years of service. I really hope the next chapter is even more enjoyable and you get to achieve much more, and I think you will. It's really hard to follow Inspector Reamer because he always does a great job, but this time he told a story about your life and about your colleagues too that I don't think can be topped. So whatever you've done to inspire Inspector Reamer to deliver that wonderful and beautiful biography of yours, congratulations. That I think means more than the certificate we gave you, because that was an incredible story. Definitely inspires me to want to be a different type of person walking these halls and the services we provide constituents to one day earn such a send-off. So congratulations.
I agree with Commissioner Corson and Brett and Mr. McReynolds. I will miss, for the past 6 years now that I've been on the board, you've always been very respectful, very knowledgeable, and very professional during briefings, during meetings, and during just your delivery all the time. And I hope that the next generation that's coming into Bureau of Contract Administration adapts a lot of what you are leaving behind. Those are, John Reamer said solid, sharp, and adaptable at the same time. Those are just characteristics of a person that you can't really train or teach. It's just inherent inside of you when you are born and developed as an adult. And you have definitely demonstrated that. You are not only a pride to BCA, you're a pride to the entire Public Works and to the city. And you will leave this legacy to your family and to your, I don't know if you have kids or grandkids or all that great stuff, but you are definitely leaving your name well put in the city of LA. And I'm sure your name is in a lot of places, but the fact that you can drive around the city of Los Angeles, the second largest city in the nation, and say, I did that, I put that, I inspected that, I went here, and you can go around and do that, that's something that not a lot, out of 4 million people, one right now can say that. So with that, I will honestly say that I, as the president of the Board of Public Works, send you off to go live your next beautiful life with your lovely wife who's been your partner. And if that's also an accomplishment, that she stood by you for 31 years plus more and is now receiving you back home and is ready for you guys to have your own time and at any time and whatever you want to do with travel or not, or whatever it is that you want to do. Congratulations. Thank you for being such a big part of the city of Los Angeles, for keeping that pride that I hope that all of our public work members continue to have it in their heart, because public works is a decent and honorable job, and career that any city and any employee can have. And I'm very proud to serve here, but I'm also very proud when I see folks just like you. Sad that you're leaving us, but understandable, really understandable. After 31 years, yeah, I think we all want to say, give some time off. But I hope that you can continue to teach what you bring to the table, the solid foundation that you have, but also the adaptability that you can provide in a city that is so diverse. You did that. Thank you. Thank you for your time. And I'm going to pass it over to Dr. Davis to close our recognition.
Thank you so much, President Garcia. I think John Reamer, the Chief Inspector General of the city, said it best when he said that the department that you worked for in the city of Los Angeles stands for our commitment to inspect what we expect. And I want to, first of all, congratulate you and your wife for your having been able to successfully get through this journey for 31 years. And when I think about us inspecting what we expect, in your role as our chief construction inspector, you've been the voice, you've been the face, and you have been the symbol of that value of what we stand for. As President Garcia said, we're the second largest city in America. And when we reflect back and look at all the buildings that have been successfully constructed in the nation's second largest city, you have been a significant force in making sure that it has been done to the standard that we have required. And for that, I thank you, and I thank your wife for keeping you on track to do that for us. When I look at your career, it has been dynamic, it has been diverse in terms of the leadership under which you've worked. You came in on the sunset of Tom Bradley in 1992. And you have experienced 6 mayors in this great second city, largest city in the country, from Bradley to Reardon to Villaraigosa to Hahn to Garcia. And now you've been around to witness the first woman in the leadership history of this great city. And so you have seen and experienced dynamic and diverse leadership. And I think that when we look at Los Angeles and who we are an economic engine. The construction contractors in the Southern California region are very fortunate to have contracts that come from Los Angeles because we provide a significant share of them in this particular region economically. And again, I just want to conclude by saying that it is so heartwarming to know that through six dynamic leaders, you have led, you have been that voice, you have been that face, and you have been that symbol. And I always am proud when people are able to come here, retire, and still can walk when they get out of the door. So I wish you and your wife the very best. You deserve every check we could ever give to you. And we are so proud of your service, and we will equally look back with fondness because, Brett, you have always been through the 10 years that I have worked here in the great city of Los Angeles, you have been the consummate professional. And again, yours is the core value of what we stand for. You help us to inspect what we expect for 31 years. Thank you and congratulations to you both.
Thank you.
Mr. McReynolds, we're going to take pictures in the back, but I just want to also, for the public and those that can't see, Mr. McReynolds came with a whole entire entourage. There's like 30 BC, I don't know how many of you are here, but it looks like 30 folks in here from BC. That just tells you the kind of impact you had in the Bureau. And, you know, Mr. John Reamer came and spoke on your behalf, but I just want to say, all of you, thank you so much for supporting such a good person, such a good leader. And I know you will all miss him, but I really hope that the words that, you know, that he left behind and his work legacy that he's leaving behind, that each and one of you has a piece of it, because it's admirable, and we're, little by little, we're losing some of that, and I just want to, like, capture it as much as I can so that we continue to have such a strong work ethical department. Thank you for that, and I appreciate you very much. And everybody that came out today, thank you all for making the effort to support your friend Bert on his last day with us. So with that, we end today's ceremony, and we will take pictures in the back. So for those joining us to the virtual platform, give us about 5 minutes. We are going to go take pictures to a very well-deserved send-off. Thank you. Dr. Campos, I'm ready when you're ready.
Absolutely. It's 10:52. We're just reestablishing quorum. We have President Garcia, President Pro Tem Davis, and Commissioner Corzine. President Garcia, you do have a quorum at this time.
Thank you very much, Dr. Campos. We're going to thank you, everybody, for the recognition and the time. We're now transitioning back to our business of the day. And I'm going to go a little bit off the agenda. So today, right now, we're going to take item number 2, which is an administrative item. We do have public comment card for that, and it's with a person that starts with the letter T.
Letter T, the Board of Public Works is considering item number 2. If you can please approach the podium. President Garcia, letter T is not in the room. No one's approaching the podium.
Public comment for item number 2 is now officially closed. This is an administrative item in all council districts. There is no presenter for this one. The mayor has approved and authorized the Board of Public Works on behalf of the Bureau of Sanitation to execute the proposed revised service agreement with the California Department of Transportation for dump day events. Is there a second to my motion to adopt item number 2? Thank you, Dr. Davis. Dr. Campos, there's a first by me and a second by Dr. Davis to adopt item number 2.
Absolutely. Let's start the voting tabulation. We'll start with you. We'll start
Aye.
with you, President Garcia. Sorry.
I know, aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Corzine.
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimously. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. All right, we're gonna move to item number 1. Let's call public comment for item number 1. A, person with the letter A.
Letter A, if you can please approach the podium. Last call for letter A. President Garcia, no one is in the room for letter A on item number 1.
Public comment for item number 1 is now officially closed. You? Okay, item number 1, this is a request from the Bureau of Sanitation and Bureau of Contract Administration in all council districts for a request for proposals, clean water conveyance system flow, gouging data, recommending the board to authorize the Director of Bureau of Sanitation or designee to distribute and advertise the transmitted request for proposals for clean water conveyance system flow gouging data, evaluate the proposals, and based on the established evaluation criteria, interview and select the most qualified proposer or proposers. 3, negotiate a contract or contracts with selected proposers/proposers. And 4, return to the Board of Public Works for authority to award and execute the contracts. And this morning we have Ms. Christine. Come on up. Thank you. Welcome.
Good morning, Madam President and fellow commissioners. My name is Christine Heinrich Jostes, and I'm here representing the Wastewater Engineering Services Division with LA Sanitation and Environment. I'll be presenting today on agenda item 1, which is the request for the authority to distribute a request for proposals and to negotiate contracts related to the Clean Water Conveyance System Flow Gauging Program. This RFP is necessary to continue data delivery services once the existing contract expires in November 2025. This RFP and subsequent contract or contracts will allow for the continuation of key flow monitoring and planning efforts such as wet weather planning and response, which is very topical right now, collection system modeling and planning efforts, contract agency billing, and support for the water reclamation plants and other system planning activities. The successful bidder would be responsible for providing a comprehensive data delivery service inclusive of installation and calibration of the flow monitoring equipment, with options for data analysis, reporting, and data quality control. To provide a summary, the existing flow monitoring program was established through a contract executed in June 2015. This program has proven itself instrumental in not only long-term planning and hydraulic modeling activities, but also during wet weather planning and response efforts since 2015. These flow monitors are the eyes and ears of the wastewater collection system, and continuity service beyond November 2025 is critical. The proposed term of this contract is 5 + 5 years, and the proposed project budget is $14 million over a 10-year term at $1.4 million per year. The notification of intent to contract was filed with the CIO's office in April 2021, and the Charter Section 1022 determination was made in October 2021 with the conclusion that there is a sufficient number of city staff to perform these services. This concludes my presentation, and I'll be happy to take any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Christine, for that. Any questions, colleagues?
Yes, I have.
Dr. Davis?
Christine, thank you so much for presentation of this motion. Could you explain to me, over the last 5 years, the existing contractor has been overseeing and implementing the work on this particular conveyance system, right? I mean,
Yes, so since 2015, we have had a contractor, the name is Hawk Company, performing the work with local subcontractors.
and could you summarize for me what they have been doing over the last 5 years? They've been monitoring, evaluating, resolving problems that might have occurred on the conveyance system over this last 5-year period.
So initially in 2015, the purpose behind installing a network of about 120 meters was to hydraulic model calibration to help with collection system planning. Since then, we've been able to find out that we can use this equipment so much more than that, specifically response efforts for monitoring levels within the sewer during dry weather and wet weather. We even use this data to take a look at the health of the collection system before, during, and after the Hyperion incident. So in the last 5 years, we've gotten a tremendous value for the work that has been done. The contractor provides the equipment. We purchase the data that is provided by the equipment, and then that data is used jointly with the Bureau of Engineering for planning purposes, with the Bureau of Sanitation for planning purposes, really anything that requires a good look into the collection system health at that time.
So in fact, we really want to, in the next phase of the 5-year proposal you're presenting to us, want to delve a little deeper into data analysis. Is that what I understood?
Data analysis is already part of it. It's an ongoing effort. Sorry. Okay, good. It's an ongoing effort to ensure that the information that we are receiving from these meters is correct and actionable. So we always include that as an option for the consultant or the contractor to provide additional information to augment our in-house city services.
I don't know if this is premature or not, but now in terms of this proposal before us today, when we look at the tasks that can in fact be performed in this, what I'm going to call second phase of this involvement on the clean water conveyance system, is the existing contractor one in which we know has the skills to help us to engage further or deeper into data analysis with this system? You've indicated that it can do much more than we anticipated coming into our purchase of it, and that this contractor that helped to install it for us have the same skills to help us further advance our usage in these areas that you have discussed.
Yes, for sure. The contractor has to this date been very capable of performing the work under the existing contract, and whoever will be selected for the next one will definitely be required to have the ability to further our data analysis and data use.
So basically, this existing firm will be among those who can pursue the request for proposal that you're presenting for us today to approve.
Yes, very likely.
And at the same time, other vendors may also be able to do the same in terms of the data analysis, usage, and other functions that this will be able to allow us to do, basically.
Yes, we do anticipate a handful of responsive bids.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christine, for all of that, and appreciate you being very thorough with that you are doing here. Any other questions? Seeing none. Any objections? Hearing none. Is there a motion on the table to move item number 1 forward and forthwith? Thank you, Dr. Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Corson. Dr. Campos, there's a first by Dr. Davis and a second by Commissioner Corson to move item number 1 forward and forthwith.
Absolutely. Let's start the voting tabulation. We'll start with you, President Garcia.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Corzine.
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Christine.
you.
Have a good weekend. All right, colleagues, we are done with approval of voting items. We are now in our oral report, and we will take item number 3, which is the status update for major upcoming street improvement projects from the Bureau of Street Services. Okay, who do we have here? Mr. Young? It was a short one this time.
Good morning, President Garcia, Commissioners, and Dr. My name is James Young, Superintendent with the Streets Renewal Division of Streets LA.
Can you get a little closer to the mic? Perfect.
Can you
Thank
hear
you.
me? Okay. This information is being provided to keep the public informed on the upcoming resurfacing projects to minimize the impact on the community as well as delays. For the additional information or concerns, you can reach our coordinating section for the Streets Renewal Division at 213-847-3200. There are no major street projects scheduled in the Metro or the Valley region during the week of August 20th through the 26th. However, we will provide the update of our 23-24 paving preservation program during the week of August 20th through the 26th, 2023. The Valley and Metro region will complete 10 projects for a total of 8.34 lane miles. The press releases were distributed and notifications have been issued. Streets LA has coordinated with the council offices to assist with the outreach to the stakeholders. We have coordinated with Los Angeles Department of Transportation for traffic control assistance. The information is also available on our Streets LA website using the resurfacing open projects icon. This concludes my report.
Thank you very much, Mr. Young. Any questions, colleagues? Hearing none. Thank you. Have a good weekend. Enjoy.
You as well.
Thank you so much. Dr. Campos, have we cleared today's desk?
Yes, you have.
Great. Thank you, everyone. Management meeting is canceled, and it is 11:03, and we are officially adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Have a good weekend.